No headlines today. We've got Vince McMahon to talk about. This is a very, very Vince-heavy video we're going to be talking about for the next 10 minutes or so. There is a lot to go over following the Wall Street Journal's new report yesterday alleging that Vince McMahon had paid over $12 million in hush money to 4 different women, including $7.5 million to one former WWE talent. We're going to kick off. Cast your minds back to June the 17th, SmackDown. Following that first report by the Wall Street Journal, Vince McMahon comes out and does the whole "they're now forever together" tagline. And he largely got cheered. He got a decent reaction. There were people bowing down to him.
Yeah, it's
in the
crazy
crowd.
looking back on that now. Again, even then it was strange. But
you know what? If he'd done it last night, if he'd come out last night, he would have had a similar reaction.
Yeah,
I have
probably.
no doubt at all. Most fans, and you know what? Fair play and everything. They're just there to have a good time, aren't they? They're probably not following the wrestling news as closely as we are, however mainstream this has got. Anyway, after he got backstage, a source told Fightful about his reaction. So he comes back through the curtain, enters gorilla position, and just screamed, "F 'em!" Seemingly in defiance of the allegations.
yeah, it's not great. It's not a great look that this has come out at all. I mean, none of this is a great look from at all, but just the fact that he's so defiant in the allegations, and he's just quite open on backstage, being like, yeah, I don't care.
That's the thing. I mean, we talked about what a power play it was for Vince McMahon to come out in the first place, and it's obvious that he doesn't really care that much. But they've got this corporate image that they are presenting. Hey, a full internal investigation is going to happen. And then probably, certainly in front of some staffers, but perhaps talent backstage at gorilla position as well, screaming that. If that's true, and Fightful sources tend to be pretty accurate on this stuff, then that is absolutely bonkers, but also very unsurprising because it's Vince McMahon. Well,
It's very unsurprising. I wonder if once the shareholders get wind of this, if this will change their view on it. Obviously, we don't really know what their mind is on. They're doing a full investigation. They'll want the investigation to run its course and do a full look into it. But like when something like this comes out, your boss isn't caring, and he just doesn't care, and he's probably fighting the allegations by just being like, I'm present, I'm here, look at me, I'm not going anywhere.
He hasn't been quite so publicly visible for some time.
Yeah.
Immediately following these allegations, he's popped up on Raw, SmackDown, did the UFC thing with Stephanie Trips, Pat McAfee's there as well. So he's showing his face about and making it very, very clear that he is still head of the table, essentially. We got the backstage reaction to new Vince McMahon developments, once again from Fightful. Everyone that Fightful spoke to continues to believe that John Laurinaitis is done in the company. He has been sort of presented by a lot of wrestling journalists as the man who's going to take the fall.
He's a fall guy,
but they believe that he has a golden parachute deal, is the way it's worded here, with the company that will likely take care of him. So I guess they're saying that even though he's gone, he might still be on the company payroll, or he might be paid off, big bonus or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's this story is all just being big payoffs, isn't it? And this is like, if they put him on a payoff deal, then it's like double standards, and he doesn't deserve it for what he's done.
I think they just want to wrap the investigation up and then sweep it under the rug, right?
Yeah.
And if the conclusion of their investigation is that, hey, John Laurinaitis was at fault here, at least they've taken action.
I mean, it's been noted for some time that the female talents have expressed frustration with him in the past, and if it is true that he is paid off to leave, I can only imagine those frustrations will grow, considering the story and the fact he's been paid off.
Yeah, obviously we don't know the in and outs of the situation or anything, but if there's one man that's fired and it's Johnny Ace, it's probably not the ethical, the just result of this investigation. But we'll see. Vince McMahon was backstage at SmackDown. Prior to the show, PW Insider tweeting, Vince McMahon has arrived at SmackDown and is in his regular role, directing creative today. And then Meltzer following up. Just a note from backstage at SmackDown, business as usual. Everyone, especially Vince, acting like nothing happened. So there wasn't any big rah-rah meeting. Been a few of those lately. There wasn't a gathering of talent, nothing like that. Vince was there. He's heading up creative still. and just cracking on.
It's so strange. Like on most companies, if something like that was to come out, the person would be on gardening leave, suspended leave.
Oh yeah.
And it would be addressed formally to the employees. And in this case, it's just, again, like we've said before, he's just carrying on as normal to be like, look, I'm here, I'm present, nothing's changing. And it's worrying because he does have 83% voting share in the company. So like he doesn't have to go anywhere.
Well, there are certain situations in which the board of directors could essentially oust him. We'll see whether or not that happens. WWE have issued a memo to employees. So following that second Wall Street Journal article report, WWE released the following. This isn't a public release or anything like that. This just went to an internal memo to the employees. We've been cooperating fully with the investigation led by our board of directors, and we will continue to do so until its conclusion. Please note, upon its conclusion, WWE leadership will make itself available to answer any questions you may have. Thank you. So when I first saw that, I thought, oh, have they done another public comment? Are they saying that after this, journalists are going to get a chance to answer questions? No, that's just to staff members. That's contracted staff. I don't know if that extends to talent.
To talent, you would think they would want to address talent just to make it clear that they're being transparent and cooperating with it. But yeah, it's hopefully they will make a public statement soon that maybe expands on it, but that's all we've got so far.
Totally. A few former WWE stars reacting to these new Vince McMahon developments over on Twitter. Mickie James, first of all, tweeting a what gif. It's a thing of her pandemic era WWE just going what like that. Anyway, no wonder I never got the raise. No wonder I never got that raise.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't need to explain what she means.
Yeah, no, I mean, you just go and read the Wall Street Journal article. We covered it quite extensively yesterday. And
we did. And Gail Kim quote tweeting Sean Ross Sapp saying, "Why is this behavior accepted? I don't understand. Someone explain this to me." I think we're all pretty confused, but it's been a boys' club for a long time, and I'm disappointed sometimes. I look at some of the YouTube comments and stuff, people just going, "Wow, what's the big deal?" And I can't believe that people don't understand.
People still think that way as well. It's like it's 2022, and this should definitely not be happening, and especially with Me Too back in 2016 speaking out back in 2020. It really should not be happening, and this sort of stuff should be called out and sort of acted upon. And the fact that it's only just come out now about Vince, and he's been in charge of the company since the 70s, 80s.
Just a total abuse of
power, abusive place of power, and
ultimately, I think what this comes down to is if Vince used company funds either directly or indirectly to pay these women off. And one of the big talking points of the paralegal who was paid off was the fact that she got a massive raise. She doubled her money.
Salary,
went from 100k to 200k. And whether that was appropriate or not, because that is mishandling company funds.
I think for the other allegation that came out yesterday with the fact that someone was demoted and then released after refusing advances, that feels like it's also a misuse of company money.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the argument there on their side might be that that was creative. They didn't think that she was in the position to be doing stuff, so she was demoted. And then, hey, creative had nothing for you. It sounds like a convenient excuse. We'll let you know more if we find out anything, of course. And finally, Denise Salcedo with a scoop yesterday. We've all been looking forward to the Vince McMahon Netflix biopic.
Of course.
Netflix not doing great at the moment. They are cancelling shows
left
all over the shop, but it will come as no surprise that the Vince McMahon biopic, you can add it to that list, that has been cancelled. Denise saying, sources tell me that Vince McMahon Netflix documentary has been pulled and is off the programming spreadsheet at Netflix. A source at Netflix confirmed it's no longer being listed on their spreadsheet. Another source at Netflix said that poo is out of here. Another source indicated that the project was already deep in post-production and several talent interviews had been done months ago and that millions were spent. I mean, once it gets to the post-production stage, it's nearing completion.
Near enough done, yeah.
I spoke to one of the producers on the project. However, they declined to confirm nor deny this story to me. It's barely a surprise. Imagine
not,
that.
yeah.
Why would Netflix invite a load of negative PR in the state that they're in at the moment with their shares dropping massively? They don't need a Vince McMahon biopic with everything that's going on. The investigation's still underway. All of these allegations being thrown around. It would be
It's just not worth it at
would
all,
be
is it?
totally daft to do so. So it's no surprise at all. I was really looking forward to it, but hey, we've got a new episode of Dark Side of the Ring to look forward to. You could do a whole series on this, because it's not just these allegations. There's been so many controversies.
30 years of them.
Right, there's so much. I remember when the Wall Street Journal thing first broke, and somebody did like this Twitter thread of everything, and it just went on and on and on. And the thing is, this is some of the tamest stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, right. There's much worse stuff that has come out or been rumored in the past.
Yeah.
And it feels like the Wall Street Journal a few weeks ago has just opened the floodgates, and it's just going to keep coming.
I agree.
It's not good.
Not good at all. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Much appreciated. We'll be back in a few hours with some more wrestling news and throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Take care of yourselves. See you in a bit.